Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and get ready because today we're counting down the top 10 risque and raunchy comedies from the Criterion collection. Yes, these are the same folks that brought you Bergman, they brought you Wes Anderson, they brought you Seven Samurai, and now they're bringing you boobs and a lot of fun. So let's get nasty, cinematically speaking. And pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right, so yeah, you hear Criterion Collection and you probably think black and white, French, new wave, some Swedish guy playing chess with death. But hold on to your pearls, do a little pearl clutching because these films are a little bit on the naughty side for Criterion. We're talking, they're a little horny, they're a little raunchy, they are weird as hell in some cases, but these movies have it all and they definitely push the envelope for the collection. So let's dive into some crazy Criterions. Coming in hot, or should I say coming in a little bit soiled, is maybe the filthiest film to ever wear the Criterion C like a badge of honor. I am talking Pink Flamingos, 1972, John Waters. It's his most deranged midnight movie where literally Divine eats some poop on TV. I mean, it is trying to be the filthiest person alive. There is chicken stuff. We've got the real uncut dog poo situation. No CGI here as before that, and no dignity. Criterion, though, not only embraced this massive hot mess trash fire of a movie, they gave it a beautiful, loving 4K restoration so that you can watch all of that raunchy filth in crystal clear clarity. This is not a movie. It's more of a dare for you to watch. It's punk. It's outsider art. It's a midnight movie. It's whatever you want to call it. It comes in at number 10, so strap in, folks. We are just getting started. Now, coming in at number 9 is one that tones it down a good bit. This is more of a sweaty, kind of southern fried, risque comedy full of innuendo and a love triangle that won't quit. One of my favorites from 1988, Bull Durham. If baseball is a metaphor for life, then Bull Durham is about scoring in every way possible. Kevin Costner plays Crash Davis, who's a jaded minor league catcher who really believes that he should have hung it up a long time ago. He also believes he should have been in the majors a long time ago, and he also believes in long, slow, deep, soft, wet kisses that last 3 days. You've got Susan Sarandon playing Annie Savoy, a baseball groupie slash would-be philosophy queen who picks one player every season and educates them. There is lust, there's locker rooms, Tim Robbins being a hot dog who's horny and hilariously dumb. There's plenty of steamy sex scenes, nudity, dialogue filled with double entendres everywhere. It is a double entendre heaven. Criterion slid this one in like a fastball down the middle and proved that a smart, sexy, southern fried, sweaty comedy, dramedy deserves its place right next to the art house legends, and I could not love that more. Bull Durham comes in at number 9 on this list. Now, at number 8 on this list is one that admittedly I think is out of print with Criterion, and it may not have gotten past a DVD release. And I don't have said DVD, but I remember when this was dropped out by Criterion. I'm talking about 1997's Chasing Amy. That's right, Kevin Smith earning his spot in the Criterion Collection, because before like his podcast, before Silent Bob's Trenchcoat Empire, Kevin Smith made Chasing Amy, which is a romantic comedy about identity, insecurity, and whether dudes can handle a woman's sexual past. Spoiler alert, in this one, they cannot. Ben Affleck plays a comic book artist who falls for Alyssa, a woman played by Joey Lauren Adams, whose past is, let's say, colorful where he is concerned. So there's jealousy. He's got his ego in the way. There's a lot of stuff going in here. It's raunchy. It's also surprisingly raw and emotional. It's like if your horny 20s got a Criterion spine number with a commentary track by Kevin Smith. That's what Chasing Amy would be about, with all the heartbreak and fart jokes thrown in between. It's kind of messy, but it's also kind of honest, and that is the reason it earns a spot in this sacred canon of chaos in this top 10 for the Criterion Collection. I think it's one that needs a 4K. Chasing Amy from 1997 comes in at number 8. Woo, now at number 7, we go back to 1982, and this movie, I'm just going to tell you, is also not for everyone. It's directed by Paul Bartle. It is Eating Raul, and, sometimes you just want to start a restaurant so you can kill a bunch of swingers and steal their wallets. Well, at least that's the plot here for Eating Raul. It's a deadpan, dark comedy. Definitely has the raunch factor in there. I mean, they're killing off swingers, as a matter of fact. But Bartle and Mary decide to clean up a... they're tired of all these swingers, these sex-crazed kind of pervs around, so they're going to clean them up with a frying pan. They lure all of these, horny, what they consider weirdos, to their apartment, bonk them over the head, and while that sounds really bad, it's kind of like a really twisted episode of Leave It to Beaver in some way. Criterion, though, they saw through the camp, and they recognized it for what it is, a weird anti-yuppie satire with a killer sense of humor, a taste for the absurd, and yes, the raunchiness, because, hello, swingers. So, bon appetit, you have Eating Raul from 1982. It checks in at number 7 on this list. Now, at number 6 on this list is one that I really enjoy, and I gotta admit, this is also not normally the type of movie that I like so much, but I am a fan of the kind of risque comedies for sure, and it doesn't get any more out in left field than 1990's Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. This one gave us like a candy-colored comedy melodrama about, just kind of grabbing someone and throwing them over your shoulder and taking them back to your cave until they see things your way. I mean, it has Antonio Banderas, who I would love to, if I could just speak like anybody for one day, it would be Antonio Banderas, who is a romantic kidnapper. Yes, he just got out of a situation of his own without giving it away, and he is absolutely in love with an adult film actress who he had a one-night stand with, and his plan is to make her change her ways and fall in love with him by kidnapping her and tying her up until she falls in love with him. That's it. Now, this one earned an NC-17 rating, and it earns it. It's gorgeously shot in a lot of ways. It's kind of a full-blown fantasy deal here, but it really somehow kind of works in this thing, and it walks a tightrope between like twisted fairy tale and like full-blown we went way too far this way, but it is definitely sexy. And it is definitely fun. You're going to laugh at it. It's kind of a spicy Spanish oddity where Stockholm Syndrome works for Antonio Banderas, but probably only because he is Antonio Banderas. Let's be honest. But Criterion knew exactly what they were doing by adding this one to the collection. They're sliding in a little bit of that Risque stuff under the art house label. So Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down comes in at number 6 on this list. Now, number 5 on this list is one that if you follow this channel, I've talked about a few times. I was able to just pick up the Blu-ray myself, and I do have some rumors that outside the Criterion collection, this one's coming to 4K, so the collection might have lost it, but right now, I have it in the Criterion collection, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Now, I just picked it up on the current sale. I was able to just grab it myself, and then I found out that little tidbit of information. But for right now, it's safely tucked in the Criterion collection. And this was actually written by Pulitzer Prize film critic Roger Ebert. Yes, that Roger Ebert. But it was directed with his first big studio budget for a movie like this by Russ Meyer, who is a breast man extraordinaire, man. This is like if you gave Stephen Hawking the writing assignment to write a Girls Gone Wild video. That's it. I mean, it's like a hallucinogenic swirl of nudity, craziness, rock and roll. It's got bands called things like the Carrie Nations, dialogue like... you're a groovy boy. I'd like to strap you up sometime. It's even got some decapitation thrown in here. It is satire. It is sleaze. It is exploitation wrapped in pink glitter. And Criterion just somehow said, you know what? We're going to take this beautiful train wreck of risque goop and we're going to slap the Criterion C on it. And this movie doesn't just wink at the audience, it motions to them to get in on the joke here. It's an overload. It is crazy. It is on this list at number 5. Now, number 4 tones it down a little bit with a little bit more of a traditional kind of coming of age, risque, raunchy kind of teen college sex romp. And it's weird, though, because this is a movie that I often say was filmed in the 90s, that feels like an 80s movie, but takes place in the 70s. And I'm talking about Richard Linklater's 1993 Dazed and Confused. So like I said, it takes place on the last day of school, 1976. Everything about the movie screams 80s teen, like high school comedy to me, though. But it was filmed in 1993. So go figure. The beer is warm. This is Matthew McConaughey coming up with his all right, all right, all right. Dazed and Confused, though, overall is less about the plot and more about the vibe. Now, if you follow me, you know I'm big on the vibes and the feels of movies. That means a lot to me. This one has it all. But, I mean, it's also full of parties, stoner wisdom, coming of age chaos. Is it raunchy? Absolutely. It definitely is. But it is also very kind of real. It captures that awkward hormonal mess of like teenage life going into full-blown adulthood the way not a ton of films have. A lot of films get that sort of, they get the party part of it, but maybe not all the rest of the real part of it quite as much. They focus on just the fun. This has a little bit more underneath it, and Criterion preserved this. They saw it too. They gave it a beautiful 4K. It's like a time capsule into almost 3 different decades. And kind of after that, it makes sense though, because 70s, 80s, 90s, there was a lot of similarities. And then after that, things very much changed. The experience changed. How we interacted with each other changed. But this kind of encapsulates all of it. It's perfect for this list. It comes in at number 4. Rewatch it with some friends, maybe some beers. All right, coming in at number 3 is one that I don't have, and Criterion has it on Blu-ray, though there is a 4K outside the Criterion collection that exists, but there is an active Blu-ray in the Criterion, so that allows me to put it on this list. And this one really pushes the envelope in a lot of ways. I am talking about Alexander Payne's 1999 Election. High school politics, very dirty in more than one way, because I'm not just talking about mudslinging at your opponents here. Election is a pitch black kind of raunchy comedy where Matthew Broderick plays a sad sack teacher who tries to sabotage Reese Witherspoon's perky but terrifying overachiever Tracy Flick. And what comes after that is cheating, sabotage, spilled secrets, an affair with a student's mom. This thing is seriously biting satire. Everyone in the movie is terrible. Everyone in the movie is horny. It's like a Mean Girls meets Watergate meets the horniness of Revenge of the Nerds. I mean, it is a different kind of flick, and to have Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon in it is pretty interesting. Reese Witherspoon's performance in this is pretty iconic. Matthew Broderick has an iconic, beautiful meltdown, and Criterion packaged it all up with the reverence of a Kubrick film, because maybe sometimes greatness just comes wrapped in condoms and crossed ballots. I wasn't thinking that one through when I wrote that, but it works. It works. And Election works for this list. It comes in at number 3. Now, at number 2 is one of my favorites, and what I have often argued. Now, I have not seen them all, but what I have seen, I have argued that this may be the best 4K restoration in the entire Criterion collection. And the fact that it belongs to a risque, raunchy comedy by Paul Brickman out of 1983, starring Tom Cruise and Rebecca De Mornay, just is icing on the cake for risky business. It's the American dream. Your parents leave town, you crash the Porsche, and accidentally turn your house into a profitable brothel. Tom Cruise in his tighty whities and his shirt sliding in, singing to Bob Seger is iconic. He made the Ray-Bans iconic in this film. This isn't just like a teen wish fulfillment fantasy. It's very stylish. It's very sleek. It has big ideas that are under there about capitalism and stuff like that, and sex work, all that. Yeah. All that kind of stuff is under there if you want to dig into it. But movies used to be much better at putting stuff like that in the back burner for you to find if you looked, but didn't beat you over the head with it and put it at the front in front of the story. So Risky Business earns a big check mark for me, as a lot of 80s, 90s movies did that had that kind of stuff. But Rebecca De Mornay practically floats on air in one of the scenes in this. She looks like a digital goddess put in there, a dangerous angel. It's classy sleaze. It's got a cool synth score to it. Criterion didn't just include this for like the underpants dance for his, his slide in his underwear. They recognized the subversive classic like tale about youth, risk, and the price of privilege, and just saying, what the hell, sometimes you have to risk it all. And Criterion did that. They said, what the hell with this 4K? It is the best transfer, I believe, that I have seen in the Criterion collection, and one of my favorite 80s kind of risque, raunchy comedies. I love Risky Business. This thing is absolutely perfect for the collection, perfect for this list. It comes in at number 2. And that just leaves one, and really, there is no question about this one. You have to be sitting out here waiting on this one. It's no question. It's 1982's Fast Times at Ridgemont High, directed by Amy Heckerling, written by Cameron Crowe, a very young Cameron Crowe. If teen comedies were a religion, this one would be sort of up there as part of the Holy Scripture, like part of the Holy Trinity. You would probably have this and Porky's and Revenge of the Nerds maybe up there at the top. Fast Times at Ridgemont High gives us Spicoli. They give us the red bikini scenes. You know what I'm talking about. An iconic piece of cinema there with a big capital C, a couple of them. Awkward sex that's actually awkward the way it would be. Very, very, not glam, not cool, just real. Amy Heckerling, famously, this movie has a lot of nudity and sexual situations, a lot of mall culture in here, a lot of 80s culture, and she famously wanted to put a lot more nudity and sex in it and could not get it past the ratings board, a fact that she laments to this day in every documentary that she talks about. She wanted more male and female nudity, more sex scenes. She wanted it to be real. And I mean, it doesn't get more real than somebody fantasizing about like, Phoebe Cates getting out of the pool. That's burned into the cinematic memory. You got Jennifer Jason Leigh exploring things in a way that we might not be able to get away with now in film. Who knows? You got Judge Reinhold getting caught in the middle of things because of the Phoebe Cates scene. But it has a lot of warmth to it. It has a lot of honesty. Cameron Crowe, he never really got to go to high school. He went back to high school to kind of study, to write this. It walks that fine line between raunchy and like almost like a revolutionary style of film that comes next. I mean, it's a snapshot of high school life. Whoa, man, Spicoli, you got all the awkwardness, all the good times, all the bad times, all the good things that can happen, the bad things that can happen, trying to fit in, being on the outside, lying to be cool, like all these different things, these awkward situations that are just real, wrapped up in a huge, awesome 80s package. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, no question it belongs in the Criterion Collection. No question that it belongs at number 1. And that is my list. 10 steamy, silly, raunchy, risque, seriously subversive comedies that somehow got the Criterion stamp of approval. Proof that beneath all of the cinephile prestige, pinkies up kind of attitude, there is a little bit of room for sweet, sleazy, a little softcore, a little raunchy, a little risque, fun, and chaos in the Criterion Collection. But let me know which one of these are your favorite. Is there any other comedies? Now, there's a lot of boundary-pushing, raunchy, risque, nudity-filled movies in the Criterion Collection, but most of them fall into much more serious tone, much more of a drama type film or character study or a biopic. Most of them fall more into that. These are a lot more lighthearted, a lot more comedic. Now, there's not as many of them, but Criterion even opens up the doors a little bit to slap the C on some of those. But let me know which one is your favorite out of this. Let me know if some that you think I missed. Put those down in the comments because I am always in the mood to pick up some of those. Check out some of my other videos, cool rankings, recommendations, and all of that kind of stuff. You might want to go grab some of these during a Criterion sale. So that's what I got for you this time. I hope you enjoyed this classy, yet maybe a little sleazy stroll through the Criterion Collection. If you have, please like and subscribe. We do all kinds of things here, lists, recommendations, 4K reviews, physical media news, all that kind of stuff, movie reviews, all from a fan and filmmaker's perspective. I make movies for a living, and I love talking movies with you. If you want to help support what we do here, you can join my YouTube channel or my Patreon link, where you can find this video and others just like it in their uncensored, unedited versions over there, where we don't have to worry about any of that. And no matter what, though, you're going to get your name and lights on every single video, behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, special members only videos, and so much more. And everything goes back into the channel, and I really do appreciate it. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.